Sometimes people don't know how much hard work you put in. But when it comes time to battle, you must think about each and every day that you put that hard work in.
What happened? Why don't you play anymore?
Brian Banks was 16 years old when he was accused of a crime he did not commit.
Good morning, Sister Seneca One. Welcome to my channel, The Underrated Darkness. Yours truly, the #1 grinder, one of the best kept secrets on social media, the best of the business. We are paid tribute to Boston icon and entrepreneur, late great brother George Foreman has passed away. Passed away yesterday. We're gonna do a tribute for him. Hope we can get people to come on the panel to pay their respects. What a loss it is. This is a loss, y'all. It really is. It really is a loss, and hopefully we could come by and pay your respects. So shout out to brother Jam Marie. He had me on the panel a few minutes ago. Pay my respects, and so please come through. Please talk about what your memories of the late great George Foreman. So what's your memories on that? So hold on, family. Hold on. Oh, everybody's doing fine. Everybody's doing all right. Oh. Sister Jasmine Virgo, thanks for coming. If y'all can hear me, press 1. If y'all can hear me, press 1. Y'all can hear me, press 1. So good, good. Yeah. Much respect to George. George, what do you remember about what you remember, Sister Jasmine? Peace to you and your family. I'm sorry. Um, what you remember about the late great George Foreman? Yeah, what? Yeah, oh yeah, okay. Okay, that's what's up. Yeah. I'm gonna go more in depth about George Foreman in a few. I'm trying. I thought I posted on my IG on my Instagram. I guess it didn't go through. So while I'm waiting, I'm taking care of this right now quickly. So people IG, people Instagram, they want to come, they ain't come through. So so I don't want to say anything yet. I want to give people time so they can come on and say what they need. So mhm. I'm okay. I'm just still shocked. George Foreman passed away, but I'm all right. Thanks for asking. Appreciate that. But y'all hear that in a few minutes. What my feelings about George Foreman. So, uh, hey Jesse, how you doing? We're gonna concentrate, talk about George Foreman. Nothing else. So anybody invite anybody, let them know. Yeah. Y'all surprised too, John. I seen it on the internet. I was definitely surprised, just like y'all surprised too. So, so if we very much appreciate it, I'm being nice today. Let's talk about George Foreman. Please. Talk about George Foreman. Okay. All right, no problem. Thanks for passing through. Hit the like. I appreciate that. Send our love to to the other half. Tell our prayers still with her. We're gonna put this in. I sent it. Okay. Hold on, fam. Hold on. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, sir. I'm sorry. Let me do this again. Welcome to my channel, Honorary Darkness. Yours truly, the number one grinder, one of the best cash secrets on social media. Thank you, Jasmine. Uh, this is the boxer icon. We celebrate the life of the late great George Foreman, boxer icon and entrepreneur. We celebrate that. We're gonna do this again. We're gonna do it again. Thank you, Sister Jasmine. Thank you so much for that. Very much appreciated. If you can hear me, press one again. I'm sorry. So shout out to my underrated one family. Let's keep on fighting for the truth and stand on it. Very much appreciate it. You know how we are. Thank you so much. Stand for the truth. Also, shout out to No Duck Zone family. Y'all keep up the fine work. Also, shout out to hashtag TWT family. Shout out to y'all. Keep up the fine work. Also, shout out to the mighty LDBC that stands for Lions Den Boxing community. Also, basketball community. Shout out to y'all that keep up the fine work. All right, so now you can hear me. Thank you. Nah, we're good now. Again, sorry for the inconvenience. Sorry for the inconvenience. I mean, it happens. Sorry for the inconvenience. Again, thanks again, Sister Jasmine. When I find out this last night, just like Jasmine was, I was surprised. I was surprised. So I found out through the internet, and I said, let me go check out through the internet news, find out, kind of find out it's true. And I was gonna do a special. I do my underrated boxing talk. I was gonna do it in that format, but I said, nah, I just want to do this just itself. And you see the background, had the boxing. That's why y'all you see me when I do that. I do the unlimited boxing talk, and I said I just wanted to just make sure that this live is about the late great George Foreman. Boxing icon and entrepreneur. That's who he was. And this one hurts. Shout out to brother Jab Marie. You know, shout out to the brother. You know, and but this one hurts. This one really hurts. This one really hurts. Yeah. This one really hurts. This one, really, really hurts. And trying to wait, you know, see how many people come, but just like Jasmine mentioned, let me go up and make sure I read it right with Jasmine. He used commercials and had a grill. Yeah, but but the thing about George Foreman, I didn't really care about George Foreman when I was very very young, and I explained to the brother Jab Marie, brother the Jab Marie, a few minutes, about almost 30 minutes ago, and when George Foreman fought for that American flag and he beat the Russian. I didn't, like I said, I didn't hate him, but I didn't like the part that he fought against the system that was slaughtering us as African descent of our people. Now, this back in the Olympics, back in Mexico City, Mexico, back in 1968. And they said, why is the same? That's the same one that John Carlos and Tommy Smith had made a stand when they put the fists up and they came in first and third and stand for Black Power, stand for the rights for our people. That's the same Olympics. It is. So he wanted to wave the flag. So, and along the way, in 68, he did well in the pros, as we know. And and he beat Joe Frazier. I believe back in '73, won the heavyweight title. Heavyweight knocked him down about 6 times, won the heavyweight title for the late great Joe Frazier. Uh, and his training was the late great Archie Moore, Hall of Famer. That's the same one I talked about before that held the light heavyweight title majority of the decade of the 1950s. The late great Archie Moore. And so if y'all want to hear more about Archie Moore, go pull up at HBO, and then they tell you more about Archie Moore. But that was his trainer, back in the days, Archie Moore, the late great Archie Moore. So Bonnie Rose, Sister Bonnie Rose, thanks for coming. Appreciate you. So along the way, like I said, I didn't care about the late great George Foreman when he was young. So when they would say Aye Bubaye in Africa, they see George Foreman was not for his people, for our people. Muhammad Ali was. And I believe that they see the time that the late great George Foreman, young, he was young, waving a flag in America, and America was not respecting us as African descent in this country. Still, to this day, they still don't. But we ain't gonna talk about that now. And so Ali is for the people. So when Muhammad Ali beat George Foreman, I was happy. I was happy when I was 8 years old. I was happy because he beat the system. And then George Foreman failed to understand what's going on. He bought a German Shepherd, but see, he failed to understand that it was actually I think it was the Dutch or whatever from Europe was sicking dogs on them Africans. And then that's another thing he had to do. He didn't understand why. And so it was a lot that went against George Foreman. At the time, he didn't understand why he had a dog, but at the same time, he failed to understand the history of African descent in this country and especially around the world, and especially in the motherland of Africa. He failed to understand that. And so all that stuff that happened was going on. Muhammad Ali was taking hits. And it was like the spirit of African, the very spirit of African people all around the world. We stand up, and then so that's when he developed. That's when Muhammad Ali, Muhammad developed the rope dope, and he finally knocked George Foreman out, and and that's enough of that. And George Fraser was depressed for a long time after the loss, and he went back to find God, and he became entrepreneur at time. At that time, he was was still suffering and stuff, and he was investing, and at that time it wasn't working right. So years later, he returned back from boxing. And what happened, I think within 2 or 3 years, maybe more than, he became the second time. He became the first older boxer became a champion, heavyweight champion back in 1994. And now during the time he was like doing good. He became an entrepreneur, stuff like that. George Foreman grill came out, everybody buying that and everything. I almost had me a George Foreman grill, but they went up on the price, so I couldn't get that. But one day I'll give me a George Foreman grill for me and the Miss. Shout out to the Miss. I love George Foreman grill. And give me one. So, but it does work to cut out the fat, and also he invested in other things, and they stopped bringing on the money. And like I say, he became a minister, and he came in full circle. And D Love, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome back. I ain't seen you in a while. Welcome. So what's your remembrance of George Foreman, Sister Bonnie Rose, and Sister D Love? Tell us. What's your memories of the late great George Foreman? And so, if any of y'all wants to come up, let me know. I'll put my email in the chat. Yeah, email me, and I see y'all link through the email if anybody wants to come up and talk about the late great, because I know they are women like George Foreman too. So. Well, console. And then, so I was very proud of that moment. So throughout the years, I had the utmost respect of George Foreman. I had the utmost respect. He became one of the best boxing commentators. To me, he very underrated. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I watched. Yeah, he was heavy hitter. You know, but back then the heavyweight division was stacked up. It was stacked. It was really stacked. So today we want to pay our respects to the late great George Foreman. Because more than right. Yes, the truth, 2025. The truth, 2025. So like I said, this one hurts. It does. This one hurts. This one hurts. We'll get through it and everything. So hopefully we can get rest in power. Yes, yes, yes. So I hope we can get some people come on through and get on the panel to pay their respects. Well, like I say, anybody that wants to get on, let me know. I will put my email in the chat. Then I send your link. I send a link through your email. Because I was going to talk about something else today, but we'll probably wait till that by next week. But we're going to concentrate on George Foreman today. So hope we can get some people on. So and he had big hands too. Yes, he did. He had big hands. Big hard too. Heavy hand. Thank you, sister. D Love. Yes, thank you. That's my secondary channel. If y'all want to check that out, go check that out. I got some good stuff on there. One day near future, I'm gonna jump on there too. So yeah, TV show. Yes, yeah. But it goes to show. It goes to show y'all that when you put God first, abundance will come what happened to you. He actually put God first and he have God. And also, when he was depressed, when he lost to the late great Muhammad Ali, do I forget Muhammad Ali help him with his depression, help him to get over it and stuff. So salute to so we gotta make sure salute to Muhammad Ali. You know, those women, yeah, a lot. He carried a whole lot, you know. Yeah, he's great, the great commentator. I think he's very underrated. And so when we see the late great George Foreman, he been through a lot and he rise to the occasion throughout the years. And, so it's a big loss. It's a big loss. And I know other people big loss too. So we want to pay our respects to the late great George Foreman. So, but it is any more memories of those moments. Y'all keep on putting it in the chat. That'd be greatly appreciated. Oh, I'm breaking up? Okay, hold on. Oh, boy. Hold on. What about now? What about now, D-Lock? Am I breaking up now? Okay, cool. Hold on. Oh, we'll stay here for a while. Hopefully people come through, pay their respects. So, because I know back in the day, I mean, when he first started boxing, I thought in the pros, he was knocking everybody out. I'm talking about at that time, it was silly. I'm talking about laying them out, you know. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. See, like the family is keeping that secret. I don't know. Yeah, he trying to lay everybody down. It was crazy. And then, when he laid him down, they wasn't not getting up. Yup, they ain't getting up no. Yup. Okay, Roy Jones Jr. one of my absolute favorite. George one was one of my favorites too. Yeah, Roy Jones one of my favorites too. Yeah, you love his. Yep. Big G, if you want to come up, you can. Matter of fact, I'm gonna send a link to your email if you want to come up. You want to come up, send a link to your email or your IG. I'm back. What's going on, brother? Like I sent an email. I sent an email to your Okay, no problem. I sent a link to your email, brother G. Oh, check it out. Yeah, but he fought quite a few people. Yeah. Always spiritual, man. Yep. Trying to wait for some people to come up. Yeah, so Big George did a lot. So, welcome back, Sister Bonnie Rose. What's your memories about the late great George Foreman? Yeah. Woo. I'm trying to look for. Hold on, fam. Yeah, no, keep hitting the like button. Hit the like button, hit the like button. Okay. Oh. Hey, what's going on, brother? Not much, man. Not much. How's the family doing?
Fine, fine.
Oh, you bounced up. Come back, come back. Please come on back. Come on back, BG. Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry, lost connection.
That's all right. No problem.
A second.
All right, so how you been?
Fine, how about you?
Okay. Hanging in there.
Mm-hmm.
Hanging in. So what's your memories of the late great George Foreman?
I remember we came back about the late 80s and he was just going on that long streak of fighting, you know. And then he his fight against Van Holyfield, Michael Moore, you know, there's a advertisement we put out the bills. I remember episode, he was on an episode of Home Improvement. It's pretty funny. I mean, because we fought in the Thriller Millennium. I think it was no, I wasn't even born yet. I was born in November '74, and that was around about the summer of '74. And then by the time he retired, now I was just 3 years old, about two to three.
Yeah.
But I remember, him, coming back, boxing, man, his fifth, in his 40s, and just coming in and beating these young guys. And the one thing is that his name was George. So,
Right.
so yeah, it was an amazing comeback. He was out of the game for 10 years and comes back and he climbs up the ladder. He, beats some probably, I think, some impressive fighters. He beat George Clooney, Jerry Clooney, but who can't beat Jerry Clooney? I mean, you hit him on the chin and he's already knocked out.
Yeah, I watched that fight too.
Mhm.
I
I
said,
think Jerry Clooney died a while back.
huh?
I think Jerry Clooney died a while back.
Yeah, I think he did too.
Yeah, yeah. Mm. Well, thanks for putting that link for my I think it's I put a link for my YouTube channel. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah, and
So
also
that's
too,
how
I want you, D Love, I want you can share out my channel too. You can share out my channel too. So yeah, but I remember I looked at that fight, I was like, wow, blow him away. But pow! I said, see, George was George. Everybody thought George he just throw punch, but George was very astute of throwing. Because I remember when he fought Jerry Cooney, right? As I said, yeah, she said you're a little choppy. You're a little choppy. Hello?
yeah, I'm hearing you.
They say you're a little choppy. Do you have a YouTube on too?
Yeah, I think we put it on mute.
Yeah, okay. So they
Yeah,
look at
got on mute.
okay. So get back to the fight. Everybody like, oh yeah, he just missed. He just missed with the right. That's what he wanted. He wanted to miss with the right, so he caught with the uppercut. That's what he caught him, and then that's when he hit. Through a few fighting, he knocked him down. But the brother, he was hurt already.
The only
He was
person to get a
already hurt.
chance to
Huh?
the only person to get a chance to go head to head was Mike Tyson. And and by the time he was at that level, I think Mike was already in jail by then.
I don't know about that.
I think Mike went in jail like was it 90? And he fought Holyfield, I think, in
Yeah,
92.
he fought Holyfield. Mike was not really himself, but I'm just saying this that yeah, if you want to come an Eagle fan, let me know. In fact, I think I have your email. Hold on, but you keep on talking, brother G. But yeah, that was something. Only people could come up there if I have your email. If you do not have my email,
Yeah. Well, anyway, I remember that was the year when he was coming back. The tennis legend Jim Collins came back by the same year. I think it was. I think Noah Ryan came back, and a couple other athletes came out of retirement and competed just maybe a couple more years. But he was an amazing person. Stories I heard and about him. The one thing always that was interesting about him was all 5 of his sons were named George.
yeah, yeah, it is. Eagle fan. If you want to come on, I think I lost your email. Send me an email, Eagle fan, if you want to come up. Then I send you a link. There goes my email right there. So you want to come up, shoot me an email so that I can plug you in. Yeah. He named all his kids. Named all his son George.
Yeah, I think his what story was his one of his daughters did boxing for a little bit. Frida, I think she was fighting one. I think did she fight Layla? I don't think she fought Layla. She might have fought Joe Frazier's daughter.
Yeah.
And him and Joe Frazier had a relationship. He whooped on him at least 2 times. Ali really kind of messed him up. After that Ali fight, even though he still was winning, he wasn't really the same. Because I think it took some out of him because he would beat Ali, but Ali, was always a strategist. He took all of George's best hits. He used that's when the rope dope come through. He used the rope dope. He was leaning on the ropes. And just let his body just absorbing the hits and just leaning on the ropes. He bounced back and took George to deep waters. Because George usually, I think most of the fights didn't last more than maybe 2 or 3 rounds, kind of like Mike Tyson was, because he never really worked on his. That's one thing Mike should always work on was his stamina. Now Mike has he gets him pretty. He can go pretty good for like good 6, but when you start getting close to about 8 or 9, that's when he starts to peter out a little bit.
Yeah, the truth. Yeah.
Huh? Anyway, I posted it somebody sent it to me, and I posted it on my IG story, and I sent it to a couple ladies who I knew were fight fans who probably grew up around the era, and one of them sent me a thing back because she used to work as a manicurist back in the day. She used to do his wife's and daughter's nails, and so there was great people, lovely people. He was a great man because he's from Texas also.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Big George Foreman from Texas. He's from Houston. Where's he from Houston?
Yeah, he said he was born I think grew up in the 3rd Ward.
Yeah. That was like, but throughout the years he did well for himself. He really did.
Yeah, I mean, his first started doing pretty good, and then I think a lot of stuff sidetracked when he lost against Ali, and then I think he got some depression. He talked about it in one of his interviews. Now he got a bit depressed, and then got into drugs and alcohol, and then that's when he got saved. He found religion, and that really helped him finding God in his life, and he changed his life, and then he was doing a lot of stuff with children and working with people, and then I think because there was money was tight, that's why he got back to boxing, and that helped propel his career back into the ring again, and then when his boxing career was done, that's when he started the grills. I never owned one. I never had one. I think one of my sisters had one, but I never had one of Foreman grills.
Jasmine said you breaking up.
Oh, must be something. Hello? Can you still hear me? I mean, might be my connection. I don't know.
You live in the country, right?
Yeah, I'm in the country, but just keep talking. Let me I check something on my sound. What's going?
Uh-oh. You see Big G in the flesh. Look at Big G in the flesh. He ready to knock somebody out. I ain't did none of you, Big G. I told you. Now I ain't gonna get. I ain't gonna act on shot. Yeah, they say you choppy, but yeah, we can still keep on talking. But anybody else do anything about George Foreman, please put it in the chat. Please put it in the chat and everything. Let me ask you a question, George. What's the first fight that you see George Foreman fought?
Oh, just just finished. I was running a test. Okay. Very first fight had to be the Jerry Clooney fight, because like I said, by the time his career ended, I was really wasn't into boxing yet. So I got about maybe 7, 8 years old. And by the time he came back, I had to be around about, I would say, it's 87, maybe about 10 or 12, about 13. Yeah, about 13. And, so that Jerry Clooney fight, and a couple other fights here and there. And I remember that because I couldn't see the fight with him and Holyfield, because that was pay-per-view. We didn't have pay-per-view. Like, we still live in the country, so we couldn't afford pay-per-view.
Do you believe the first fight that I seen him, I was little. I might have remember when he first fought in the Olympics. That was 68. I was 2. I think I remember. My father said I remember him when he was in the Olympics. But really, I think the first fight, he fought somebody before Frazier. But I remember I think he's from the United States. I know he fumbled. He stretched this guy out. Y'all know we're talking about back in 1972. And that's when the late great Archie Moore was his trainer. Who was the late great Archie Moore? Archie Moore fought. He was a heavyweight champ. He was light heavyweight champion mostly back in the 1950s. Decade. That's the whole decade. Most decade. Archie Moore was a famed, excellent fighter. And so that was George Foreman training.
Underrated. Did Archie Moore fought Rocky Marciano, or he won the fight with Rocky Marciano?
He fought more Rocky Marciano.
He did?
I don't think he did.
No, I'm trying to remember.
No, the
I
one
don't.
before Rocky Marciano was the late great Joe Louis.
Mhm. I think Archie Moore fought Floyd Patterson, I believe.
I
I think Archie fought Floyd Patterson.
No, he did. He did. I think
Uh-huh.
he did. I think he did for Archie Moore. Archie Moore did for.
I think he fought Floyd Patterson and Sonny Liston. If not,
Yeah, he did.
just
He did.
yeah.
Knockout
Cause,
Rocky Marciano too.
Hmm?
I see he almost knocked out Rocky Marciano.
Oh, Floyd Patterson.
Archie Moore, yeah.
Archie. Oh, Archie. Oh, Archie did fight Rocky.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
All right. But Rocky never fought Sonny Liston.
That was the time Archie Moore was going for the heavyweight. But he was still a light heavyweight champion.
Yeah. And I think, yeah, because I don't think Rocky Marciano fought Sonny Liston because Sonny Liston was a mob boxer. They want their boy to be up there Italian. I see that.
There's a lot of people be saying that if George Foreman, how about if George Foreman? Oh, Ronnie Rose said I still have George Foreman grill. That's what's up.
Yeah, that's cool.
That grill, true.
I think I saw somebody did a thing where they cooked a whole steak on one of those grills. I think they had an extra large version of it. Yeah. But yeah, George Foreman, I think he's one of those top guys. I mean, he came in the game, success out of it, then came back and got just as successful he was when he left. And he kind of just really, I think what it did was, I think he brought, a bit more attention to boxing, especially those who are fans of the old boxers. Like, but then Larry Holmes was on his ways out, but Ali was retired. A lot of the guys a lot of people who grew up around about maybe the 70s, 80s to watch, they were already gone or out of retirement, and he comes back, and just I think really brought maybe some more fans back to boxing. Hello?
People have owned George Foreman, that George Foreman grill. But I'm gonna give you one day.
Yeah, I don't like I said, I don't really watch boxing like that anymore because I do, glance every now and then, don't really watch like I used to and plus, I don't know, it's just not the same. Like, where a lot of the guys now don't really fight for legacy anymore. A lot of the fighters that were pretty good are gone. Tyson, Holyfield, Lennox Lewis. Well, here's the thing about Lennox Lewis: he dodged a rematch with the guy he beat, that Russian guy, because he knew he was getting beaten that first fight. Roy Jones, he retired. Guys like James Toney. I'm not a big fan of Oscar De La Pantyhose. And Floyd a bit, but some of the stuff he said over the years, not a fan of.
But there were some that went on to be pretty good trainers. No. So you got I don't care about Oscar De La Hoya, but No.
Mm.
Well,
Ever since that time, I think ever since the time he was one of those pantyhose and all the stuff came out him, like Coach was telling me, I said, "Oh man, I used to like Oscar a bit, but then when I hear all the stuff and the thing he was doing, and I just don't have no respect for it. I know he's a promoter now. You know, we're going about promotion. You know, he had D Hop and Shane Mosley and you know, a couple of fighters signed to him, but personally, as a person, I'm just not a fan of him.
but you know, there are a few boxers who famous and they retire, even they don't become trainers, they become excellent commentators. Just like the late great George Foreman, he became an excellent commentator. And I think very underrated.
I think he used to do commentary for HBO boxing or Cinemax or Showtime, either one of them. HBO boxing not on anymore because I know HBO has got away from boxing because I don't know, maybe because boxing is kind of you know I don't know, maybe because Jim Embry, how his stuff he was saying, I still remember when Larry Merchant got in the ring with Floyd Mayweather. And he talked to Jug and he said, you ain't shit. Say, I ain't shit. Well, if I was 30 years younger, Larry, you should get your ass knocked out.
Yeah. Yeah, I tell you, yeah, what. Yeah, but it was some great times. It was some great times,
Yeah. It's just, I think, to me, these young guys coming now, they want to be, fashion models and pretty boys. No, I think they're just no real boxers who don't fight for legacy anymore like they used to. Fights getting dodged, and and some fighters doing stupid shit and not being, hey, don't do this stupid shit because it can hurt you. It's just, I don't know. Maybe if certain people maybe get out of the way, like Barbarian or whoever else, and maybe opportunities open up and people give chances to boxers. Not just say you got to think about it. You got to think about boxing. I talk about this even on my channel how boxing is very dangerous sport, and men have died in the ring and out of the ring. Remember when Mumu Mancini beat the guy and he died. Mumu had to retire after that.
Yeah.
It wasn't his fault. It was just that his corner should throw in the towel. Your fighters go through hardships and you say, throw in the towel. It's a job as a corner is to protect your fighter, not just from the opponent, but also from himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, but
So anyway, what you been up to, Open Reddit? I've seen you busy.
me, I've been grinding, man. I've been trying to put this work in,
Yeah, I sometimes I come on, listen to you last year now and then, and so that I may not be able to because I'm working on something because I got stuff I got to work on. I got a live stream on Monday. I got to take care of. Got some interviews. Got to set up some interviews. I mean, every now and then, when I see you got a live, I pop in, I drop a like, I listen a second and leave some comments, and I support you, brother.
yeah, I appreciate
our little brother James. Yeah, I know a little brother James is over in the Philippines.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you let me know he was out of town, so I'm like, well.
Yeah, last week was his birthday. I sent him a little bit of money for I sent it to his PayPal because he said he couldn't take it on Cash App because something wrong with it. Because you're out of country, you can't take money when you're out of the country with Cash App.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't do that. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
um, so I said, okay, bro. I hear you. So, so so he said he'd be back in the States soon. So see what happens. You know. Mm. Let's see what happens. So, what you doing? Any lives today? Huh? Hello? Huh?
Oh, hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You breaking up though.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's some connection. I'll stay here for a good minute, but then I'll probably have to get off if there's something wrong with my connection.
Okay.
Mhm. But yeah, I mean, like I said, just try to keep busy like anybody else, and try to survive another day. That's all we can do, brother.
Yeah. That is true.
Yeah, yeah. I was on mute for a little bit, D Love, because you know,
Huh?
I told D I was on mute for a little bit because I think I might press the wrong button. I was trying to check
Oh,
if my sound was still choppy or not.
okay.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, yeah. Like, oh, how's Mrs. doing?
She's okay.
That's good to hear.
She's okay.
Yeah, yeah. It's nice to have that. I might need it now. I'm getting older.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, brother, I'm gonna go off right now. I got some stuff got to work on. Thank you
Okay.
for the link and thank you
Yeah,
for the
thank you.
conversation.
Thank you for
You know,
showing up.
all the best
Thank
of
you.
luck to
Thank
you
you.
and everybody else out there.
Let you say your memories about the late great George Foreman.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Not a problem. God bless him, his family. He's rest in peace. He's with his daughters up there. He's with Ali and Frida. They're probably gonna sit there talking about the good old days. That's something to see. But anyway, shout out to everybody who's here. Be love. You know, Miss Bonnie Rose, everybody who did. I appreciate y'all support.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
except again, my link is in the description. Go check out my channel, Always George page. You can really use subscribers. Follow me if you are into bodybuilding. It's most of my content. I do every now and then. I do some content on mixed martial arts, or combat sports. Not so often because my stuff is mostly bodybuilding. But if it's something you like and you interest check it
Oh
out. I
yeah.
really appreciate the support. And I thank you, brother, for having me on. I hope everything goes out with you and
Anytime.
a lot more success.
I
All right.
appreciate you. All right.
No, I appreciate you. Have a great weekend. What's left of
You do the
it?
same. Thank you.
All right. All
Appreciate
right.
you.
You're welcome.
That's the late. That's the that's the big G right there. So if you can. Yeah, so again, like people is like shocked. Yes, the late great George Foreman had passed away yesterday, and we are celebrating. We are paying tribute of the late great George Foreman, a boxing legend, Hall of Famer, um, entrepreneur, boxer, a commentator, a father, minister, husband, all that. So, so anybody that wants to come up, yeah, hear my voice, that want to pass through, please come through. Feel free. We'll be on for a while. We'll be on for a while. So, stay along. So try to stay along as I can. Like I said, I'm trying to stay along as I can. But yeah, people come through. But I was gonna do yeah, y'all got me do my Saturday grinder show, but I said nah. I feel today this is very important. It is very important. Okay. So they was, you know, I want to pay my respect to like George Foreman. I know it's gonna be a hard time for the family, and so over here we'll pay our own respects. That's what we doing. So we're gonna keep on telling some stories. What I remember about George Foreman too, when he was making his comeback, you know. No problem. No problem, D-Lo. No problem. Again, welcome to my channel, Honorary Darkness. Yours truly, the number one grinder. One of the best case secrets on social media, the best in business. We celebrate the boxer icon and entrepreneur, brother George Foreman, had passed away. So we are we are celebrating the brother. And when he was like making his comeback, there was a lot of people had laughed at him because he got older. Because he made his comeback after 10 years of retiring. And it was they say it was impossible. And I think it was about, maybe he came back maybe in late 80s and stuff. But I think he fought like about over 20 times and winning. Lost one, I don't know. And he did the impossible to knock out Michael Moore, became the oldest champion ever won a championship. And to find out, it was over 20, it was about 20 years ago when he lost to the late great Muhammad Ali. He lost the championship in 74, and then he won it back 20 years later, 1994. That's great. Then, after that, he fought the great Evander Holyfield. 22. But George Foreman was getting tired. He was getting hit a lot. The late great George Foreman, they stopped the fight. And he went out, gracious as he always was, and that's when Evander Holyfield was pushing his dominance of the heavyweight division. Man, the heavyweight division was stacked then, too. Think about that, especially in the 90s. And I know another person would heard about it, would be devastated about it is Larry Holmes, the Eastern assassin, because he's from Eastern Pennsylvania. Larry Holmes, another person don't get the credit he deserves. Larry Holmes had one of the powerful jabs too, to knock you down. There are some people say that he actually knocked people out of the jab. No. Yeah, Larry, no joke. Talk about Larry Holmes when I bring back the underrated boxing talk. Oh, very underrated. We already know he had a straight right. He always had a wicked right, but his jab was no joke. So, Larry Holmes beat some pretty good. He beat some Hall of Fames too. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He beat some Hall of Famers back in the time, yeah. No. So, but I think I'm gonna do Larry Holmes when I do the underrated boxing talk. I don't know when it'll be the next time or whatever. I think I'm gonna go talk with Larry Holmes. Larry Holmes and the late great George Foreman, they was best of friends, so so that almost respect, so I can't imagine what Larry Holmes feel about her now. And in the boxing community too. Our elders, y'all. We are losing our elders. So most of the sisters rocking with me today. I appreciate that. Thank you. They talking about women don't know boxing. Women know boxing. Oh, thanks for rolling with me. Yeah, y'all know boxing. Y'all know sport. No sports. I grew up on that too. I ain't gonna say ain't that many women know sports in my family, but they watch it. That I wish a lot more women get into it. Like there are some black women they into sports, but not as many. I mean, like all I can say, women, that'd be a great conversation. Oh, that's all right. But you know, there are other women in other races. They know all kinds of sports. You see, they go to the games with the family, them and their husband, or them and their boyfriend. Okay, that's what's up. Um, now with some black women, no, they like to be in sports. Like, oh, that's what's up. Yeah, I think it's cool. But you got to talk to these women out here. They, come on, now, you know. Let me tell you, women something. When you start knowing the sports and you interacting with your man, tell y'all. But let me tell you, if you fake it now, I'm gonna let you know right now. If you fake it, we will know about it. Be into it. Tell them. I mean, I ain't gonna say some women don't be in sports. They are some. Like the man, she in sports, football, stuff like that. But I can't say she do. Watch something, yeah. Like my late mom, she used to watch sports with my late father. But like there's like a good game. If it's interested, my mom's sometimes you can turn the TV, turn it on and watch it. Yup. I remember back in the day, so that's a excuse my father was no longer here. Years ago was no longer here no more. We used to watch basketball together. You know the teams too. Yeah. Huh? Also, my mom's mom, they used to watch sports. Even my grandma, late grandmother, they were sports a little something, something. You know. I think that's a yeah, I think it's a sexy thing. And when a woman into sport, is oh baby, let's go watch this. You know, like yeah, let's go watch that. Yeah, plan for it and stuff like that. That's a great thing. You know. So, and that's the thing. Yeah, yeah, it's true. No, even my first cousin, most of my first cousins on my mother's side, late mother's side, they love watch sports. They love watch sports, man. Yep. Yeah. But you know what, deal? Some of them watch sports because they like to see their man run, with the man running and muscles and all that. But they don't really like what you said. They really don't watch that for that. What you say, they don't. Scrapbook boxing. Oh, bro, I wish you would come up. That's my brother, scrapbook boxing. Thanks, bro. Yeah, yeah, scrapbook. Hold on, stay right there. Take down my email and email me back so I can plug you in, brother. Scrapbook, because we got to get you on. I try to get you on for years. That's my day one. He part of the family. That's day one right there. Scrapbook. Cause you talking about boxing? Boxing? Scrapbook. Yeah, and he talking about Curtis Anderson. He passed away a few years ago. Shout out to brother Curtis Anderson. Oh my god. When they together, that's it. You just savant. You be like, Scrapper tell you, I know a little boxing. I know a little something. I know a little something. I know a little something about boxing. But I want you to email me as quick as you can, brother Scrapbook. And thank you for passing through. Hit the like. Sure did, yeah. Oh, always a blessing. On a blessing, see the brother. You know. Mine's like scrapbook boxing. We need to have it back in boxing because these people they don't know. They don't know. So we pay tribute to the late great um George Foreman, Hall of Fame boxer, Hall of Fame fighter, entrepreneur, gold medal winner back in 1968, Mexico City, Mexico, 1968. That's what John Carlos and Tommy Smith. John Carlos, Tommy Smith. That's the one who stand up for our rights for our people. The track and field, they ran track. They came in first and third with the black fit. I mean, they did this black glove. They got crucified for that. That's the same Olympics I'm talking about. 1968, um, Mexico City, Mexico. So again, like I said, I didn't care about when the late great George Foreman. He was younger and waving the flag. That didn't, you know. sit right with me, didn't sit right. So didn't sit right. Didn't sit right. Well, again, welcome to my channel, The Ray Darkness. Yours truly, number one grinder, one of the best kept secrets on social media. This boxing icon and entrepreneur, Brother George, has passed away. So we are celebrating the life of great, and please, share, please put a comment, hit the like button, subscribe, share this out. It'd be very much appreciated. If you want to donate, you see it flash. You see it flashes right there on the ticket. Um, accepting donations. Cash App is $ capital JT 53000. Also PayPal.me/JT Black 53 if you want to donate. That'd be greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated. But all we're trying to do, bring some great stuff on here. Different, uh, different and diverse. You know, we greatly appreciate it. Yeah. So, and even when he was coming out, even the George Foreman grill, they laugh at him too. Well, he don't know about business and stuff like that. I find out it was an overnight success, and it's been like that for years. Also, I think he came out with some barbecue sauce. I think he came with some barbecue sauce. I think so. And also, they're pretty good too. They're pretty good too. Well, man, we miss you, brother George. Miss you, brother George. Woo! You'll be missed. See you on boxing events. Make other people happy. Oh yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. When he first started off in the '70s, he didn't did all that good, but a few years after that, he just had his own church. Yeah, I believe he had his own church too. Hold on for 1 second. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay. We're right here. I'm still. If you hear me, if you can hear me, press 1. If you hear me, press 1. You hear me, press 1. I want to make sure. Okay. Cool. Cool. Still one. Okay. Cool. Those are still hit me in front. You still hit me. I'm about to say like most everybody left and everything. So, but we gonna try to stay a little longer. Talk about George. Talk about the late great George Foreman. Thanks for rocking out with me, D-Love. Thank you. Appreciate that. Other people passed through. Thanks for hitting the like button. Please share this out. Please share this out. You know, but and also they did a movie on him too. You need to check it out. You need to check it out. Yeah, they made a movie. Okay. They made a movie, yeah. Made a movie. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I usually put this on when I do boxing. When I talk about boxing, that's when I put this on. Now that's the only time. Also I got an MMA. I got an MMA background too. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yep. Yeah, I got to look for it's somewhere. I gotta put it up though. But when I do some MMA, I'm then gonna do some MMA soon. I used to do MMA too. Matter of fact, you used to remember I used to do MMA, right, D Love? You was around when I do MMA. It used to be George, the one you seen, and with somebody else too. Like I keep on telling people, like I tell people, no. He have a daughter box. The box. She was 5-1, but she passed away. I tell you, this channel we do everything. You tell people that almost anything. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like, well, See, like they don't want, it's like they don't want, they don't want to give, they don't want to pay, come over here, pay, just pay attention to us. But it's all right. And I had people that said, when you gonna, I had people once in a while come and tell me, when you gonna come back and do all your advance? I don't know. I don't know. People got to want to come. You really don't. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Time to do it all. Trying to do it all. There are some people like, they get one channel, do this. They got one channel. I got other channels. Thank you. Yeah, I got other channels. Besides that channel you talking about, I got other channels, but I put everything right here. Thank you. That's what I told people. Go think about the people's channel. Sometimes I call it is my channel, yeah. I tell them, go look down, go deep, go real deep my channel. Go real deep our channel. Got a lot of stuff. I got a lot of stuff. We got a lot of stuff. Got a lot of stuff. Got a lot of stuff. Sometimes there are some people do not want to work with us. Majority of the time, there are some people do want to work with us. You know? We got quite a few people in this world, especially inside the space, outside the space, they want to be entertained. You know? Transform themselves or transform others. I ain't gonna say there are some out there willing to do that, yeah. But it's not me. No problem. I mean, it happens, Hey, Chuck, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, D-Love. It happens. It happens. I know when you have the time come, you come. And they're very much appreciated. You know? So trying to fit in the best way I can. Trying to fit in the best way I can. Very appreciative. So it's just that there are some people. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm trying to, people have, there are some people have their own preference. They do. Like people on my channel, I said I always encourage them. I said if there's somebody, I said listen, if there's somebody besides me that go about positively and they all about diverse and stuff, support them too. Support them. Uh-oh. Do I know who he is? That's Harlem fan right there.
Yo, what's up? What's good, bro?
What's good with you?
Ain't nothing chilling. Ain't nothing chilling. I'm about to drive. I gotta make a move, but I'm here. We rocking out. I'm gonna support you, bro.
Okay.
Appreciate you
I
coming
support
on
you.
the show.
Oh, I appreciate you having me. To put my wisdom on it.
Yeah. Definitely, definitely. I was like, my man underrated. Look at him showing that old school boxing knowledge. Look at him over there. You know what I'm saying, I see you over there. But yeah,
They don't
bro.
know that. They don't know that. They don't know that. They don't think I know boxing. They don't think I know.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I know a little. I know a little something. I know a little something.
Yes, sir. But what we building on?
George Foreman.
Oh, you still talking about good old George?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
man. Yeah, bro. George, man. It was sad, man. And I'm glad that, because one of my bros, Stay Ready, he actually went to school with one of his daughters, and he want to start a
Oh,
petition. Yeah, he want to start a petition so that George could get like a statue or something in Houston, because he from Houston, from the north
right.
side, where both my bros is at that I do content with. So I think that'd be dope. I think he deserved that. I won't be surprised if it happens sooner than later. You know what I
I think
mean?
so too. I think it's.
Because, like I said, we did that with Hector Camacho. When Hector Camacho's sister was going on through Harlem, I ain't even from the east side. I'm from the upper west side. You know what I'm saying? But I signed it. You know what I'm saying? She went everywhere in Harlem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this is a fight that really before my time. But I still supported him because he from Harlem. So, so it was right on there on 115 East Lexington. You know what I'm saying? His block. And you
Oh,
see
that's
Hector.
near the east. That's near the East River, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. See, my man, even though he been in Virginia forever, he still know. He still
I,
know.
I I've been I've been around you.
We
I've been around. I've been talking. I've been around.
he almost I don't want him turning into no Virginian. You know what
No,
I'm
no,
saying?
no,
Y'all
no, no,
can't
no.
have him.
No,
Y'all can't have him.
this strict in New
You know what I'm
York.
saying?
I just resting. No, I met some cool people in Virginia, but New York always gonna be always.
You know what I'm saying? But
New York.
George, man, like I said, it was sad, bro. It
It
was sad
is.
because I know a lot of people they feel a way about George. It's mixed feelings about George. Not really with
Yeah.
the people in Texas, because of that 1968 Olympics and him holding up the flags and
Yeah.
and he's from that civil rights era and stuff like that. I think he changed though a little more once he got older. I like the older version of him better because that's the one I know.
Oh, so let me ask you a question. Do you want me to tell the people that what I said on the chat on
Yeah,
your
yeah, yeah.
channel?
Go ahead. Elaborate on that. Go ahead.
What I was so speaking when he been asking my brother Colin fam, he asked me a great question about this, and so there is two to me. There's two sides of George Foreman. There's a one side of George Foreman of 1968. Now people say what 1968 had something to do with it. If y'all remember, John Carlos and Tommy Smith, they ran track and field. They the one threw the fist up in the air of black liberation because they did not respect us as a people. That's why it was like this. This part of the Black Panther movement, nationalists and all the black nationalists, all that. That's the same Olympic that George Foreman did. Now, George Foreman took the civil rights route, the flag and all that. Now, as for me, personally, I was 2 in 1968. But when I watched it, like 6 or 7, I wasn't cool with that. And that's when I started knowing the Black Panther Party. That's what I had my political beliefs in when I was very, very young. And so when I see that part of George, like I said, I don't hate him. I don't hate him. But to me, of that part, you know what that flag really stands for. And I ain't like that. And even though the civil rights movement, what it was before, y'all didn't want to stand side to side. A lot of people keep on getting slaughtered. Now, that's the same year the late great Martin Luther King got assassinated. Also, RFK brother Bobby Kennedy got assassinated. So the country was an uproar. So now we speed it up to 1974. That's when the late great Muhammad Ali, heavyweight champion. And this one, I think
Rumble in the Jungle. You talking about?
Rumble in the Jungle, yes.
Africa.
Zaire, right. Now, I want people to understand what I'm saying. When they said Ali, boom, boom, Ali, boom, boom, yeah, right? The Africans back then had seen George Foreman waving that flag in 68. And also he brought a German Shepherd. Now, why you said no one grinder, he brought a German Shepherd? Because I forgot what it was, but they used to sick them dogs on them Africans. So already, George Foreman had no wings. And he failed to understand you with this oppressed system. Ali stand against this oppressed system. And that's why they put they drew like tanks and stuff, and you see people throwing at it. That was the Africans that actually let people know they throw against oppression. Yeah, booba yeah, booba yeah. Because they see George Foreman as part of the suppressed system globally. I want people to understand that globally. And Muhammad Ali had represented the people globally. But George Foreman at the time didn't fail to understand that until a little later on. And so when Muhammad Ali had beat George Foreman for the third, before he wanted to have heavyweight champion at that time, unprecedented 3 times. George Foreman became depressed for a long time. He tried to find himself.
Yeah. If I could chime in.
Go ahead.
Real quick, underrated. So what happened? A lot of people they think that after that fight, George retired. It wasn't that. He had one more fight after that. Then he retired. He fought against a guy named Jimmy Young, who was a very underrated old school champ. Well, he wasn't a champ, but good contender. I meant to say contender, excuse me. And after George lost a decision to Jimmy Young, he left boxing and he turned his life over to God.
Right.
Now, a lot of people, I'm gonna tie in something for you that you're gonna like, number one, Grinder, because I know you old school. And you would think because I'm a young boy, I don't be knowing, but I know.
I don't think that.
They took that and put that in the Rocky story with Clubber Lang. A lot of people don't know that in the continuation, if you read the book in Rocky, Clubber Lang, after he loses to Rocky, he turns to the church. He was just like the personification of George Foreman, a big, tough guy that everybody is scared of before they get in the ring with.
Yeah.
That was George Foreman. And George said that he got that from Sonny Liston because he was Sonny Liston's sparring partner. He was real good friends with Sonny Liston. So
And before you continue,
go ahead.
Sonny
Nah, go ahead. Go
Liston.
ahead. That's just all I
No,
wanted
no,
to
no. I
say.
want you to continue. I want to throw the now. Sonny Liston died in 1970. But to this day, we still don't know how he passed. I just want to throw that in. Go ahead.
Yeah. You know what? I gotta rewatch that That was such a good documentary they did on HBO before they took HBO off of boxing. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
took boxing off of HBO. That was such a good, what I'm saying? They did such a good job. They did such a good job. But yeah, bro. I just feel as though. Hold on, I gotta put my ear pods in. I gotta make this move. I feel as though a lot of these old school champions, they not celebrated like they should be. How you feel about?
I agree. And I think that what I'm going to do, I'm glad that you're here because you've been on my mind. You remember scrapbook boxing?
Of course, that's my Harlem brother.
Yo,
That's my
matter of fact,
Harlem
he
brother.
came he came through here a few minutes ago and hit a like.
Oh yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I gotta get back in touch with Scrap, man, because Scrap another Harlem brother, and we gotta be more locked in. We gotta be more
Yeah.
locked in.
I'm glad that you're here because before we continue about George Foreman, I want to do a special of not respecting the older fighters, and I wanted to be on of the underrated boxing talk. And I was
Yeah.
thinking, I was thinking
Yeah,
about
I got no problem with that. I got no problem with that. You know, you my
I'm
guy.
really thinking about, and I want to do a series. I really want to do a series on it, and I said it's so funny how God works mysterious ways. I was thinking that scrapbook. I'm thinking about this. I didn't see scrapbook in a minute, and scrapbook popped up like a few minutes later in my channel, and so I want to get you scrapbook because I'm handpicking it, bro. I'm handpicking it. So that's what I want to do. I got to do more about boxing. You always encourage me. I should talk more about boxing. I will. And but we will definitely talk about it because it needs to be talked about. But get back. Go ahead. Go and finish. Go and finish.
What?
Oop, he come back. Yeah, but I want him to finish. Then I'm gonna add a little something. We're gonna keep it going. But I think I feel it's very important that when you know about history, you gotta know deeper history.
Yeah, my bad, bro.
Don't worry
My
about it. Don't
bad,
worry
bro.
about it.
Yeah, like I hit the wrong button and it threw me out. Hold on, let me fix my audio if you don't mind. Let me
All
fix
right.
my audio.
Go ahead. So
Okay.
we
Okay. You can hear me? You can hear me?
yes.
Okay. So yeah, man. Yeah, they equated all of that stuff into Rocky 3, and that's just how he has interest in life.
Yeah. And you know what's so crazy about when he won the championship the second time again? That was almost 20 years before that he lost the championship. Oh.
Give George Foreman a watch. I remember his life. It was interesting. Um, he was probably the only boxers I could say that had two lives
Yeah.
that reinvented themselves. Like he went from like this savage hard puncher
to like a Jolly Giant type of figure in the sport when he came back, and he came back older,
Yeah,
because
and
a lot of people mismanage George's money.
yeah,
George should have been set after he retired, especially with making 5 million guaranteed in Zaire.
yeah,
You know, by Mabutu's Seiko. You know what I mean?
yeah,
The president over there. You
yeah,
know, he should have been set. You know, and then even with that last Jimmy Young fight, even though he lost, he should have been set. But a lot of people mismanaged his money and stuff like that. So he had to end up fighting when he was in his 40s. And he ended up making history. And you remember that famous two piece? I wasn't around, but you was there. That famous two piece where he knocked Michael Moorer down and became the oldest heavyweight at 45 years old. That's
yeah.
amazing, man. Nobody that I don't think that could even be done. And we got
They ain't
better
gonna,
technology and better resources now.
and right, and
And I
also too, right. No, no, go. Go ahead.
oh yeah, no, I'm just saying like that's like an amazing feat. You know that shouldn't definitely should not get overlooked. So mad respect and credit to the OG George Foreman, man. Big George. Like he definitely won't be forgotten.
No, he
And
won't.
I know when I watch boxing later, I know they're gonna give him a 10 count. They're gonna be like, before we do, they usually do it before the main event fights.
Right.
We lost the figure in boxing, then they ring the bell 10 times. He deserved it.
If you
He
ask me,
deserved
they
it.
should ring the bell 20 times.
You know what I'm saying? Cause and then we gotta understand, like, he was one of the hardest punching heavyweights
Be,
like ever.
besides
I'm talking about
besides Ernie Shavers.
yeah. That's why I said one. I said one of. That's why I said one of. One of. You know what I'm saying? One of. He's definitely in the top. I remember um one one fight that I was watching. One fight I was watching. And he had the son, your boy Larry Merchant. They was commentating. And I think it was Prince Nassim Hamed. And I think Prince Nassim Hamed actually went the distance with somebody. Said, George, you're talking about a guy that knocked out everybody before in his first 15 fights. And then George said, I had 30. He had the son of like nigga, I don't care about his little. I had 15 more than that before I went the distance. What are you talking about? And a harder error.
In a hard.
Because you gotta understand that to me, I don't care what nobody says. I'm ready to verse somebody in that. 80s heavyweights versus 70s heavyweights. You don't get to use 80s and 90s. That's cheating. It got to be one decade versus another. You give me the 71s because I like them 70s heavyweights. That's why I got to put so much respect on Ali and George Foreman's name, because that era of heavyweights they came up in, yo, them motherfuckers wasn't whack. Even the dude, like I told you, Jimmy Young. Like somebody like
You
that.
got the late great Kent Norton.
You got Ken Norton, you got Ron Lyles, you
Ron
got
Lyle,
uh who I could keep going, man.
Shavers.
Ernie
You got
Shavers, yup. You got
and
Buster Mathis,
Buster Mathis.
you know what I'm saying? Dag, what's that other one?
Jerry.
Yeah, you got no, Jimmy Ellis, the one Ali grew up with. Got Jimmy
Right.
Ellis. And see, y'all talk about friends can't
Joe
fight friends.
Frazier.
You got Smoking Joe Frazier. You know what
You
I'm
got
saying? The
Jerry.
list go on. Yo, the list go.
It
What's
moves
your old
on.
school? what y'all old school rappers say, and it go on and on and on and on.
See, I mean, like, if you think about any given day, right? Before we get back to George, for any given day, they could have been champions.
Yeah, you're
That's
not
how
lying.
hard that
Oh,
heavyweight division was.
Oscar Bonavina, uh,
Also,
uh,
Bonavide, right?
yeah, like you know what I'm saying, like
Right.
yo,
And these
Trevor
are
Burbick, Trevor Burbick,
early.
you
These
know
are
what I
not.
mean? You know what I'm saying, like Larry Holmes coming up, you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Muhammad Ali's sparring partner back in the
Yeah,
mid
like
70s.
like I
Come on, I
said,
mean,
man.
you think about it, bro. Let's be honest. Let's keep it about. What's up, brother Cap? PY2. Welcome back, Sister Bonnie Rose. Let's be honest. All that we just mentioned, they was not journeymen. They was
Yeah,
top 10. They were top 10.
they was top 10 dudes, man.
Yeah. Come on. I mean, you think about it. If you think about boxing, right?
Had
You talk about
what
the
we had Ernie Terrell, you know what I'm
Ernie
saying?
Terrell.
You know what I'm saying? Like so see they think I don't know my stuff because I wasn't around, but I'm a student, man.
I know you
I'm
know.
a
See,
student.
but see, it goes to show, right? Your
That
appreciation of
was a good
boxing is
class.
your
I'll
history.
take that class. I'll take that class. Y'all can have the 80s. I'll let y'all let me get that class. There was more skill in that class.
You see,
Even the
this is what
whack boxers were skilled.
right. See, this is what I was saying, bro. And let me tell people before I continue. He one of the few brothers that encouraged me to talk more about boxing. The one I'm talking to right now, he said, "OG, you know boxing." I said, "But they ain't trying to hear me. They ain't trying to hear me. I know a little something. They ain't trying to hear me because I don't talk about the same shit. Look at what we just talking about. And I'm gonna say the seven. If you think about why boxing went to the next level, it wasn't for them 1960s and the 70 weight and heavyweight class.
You ain't lying. You ain't lying.
Because there wasn't hardly no money in them lower weight class. We gotta be honest.
Nah, you made the big bucks, especially back then. You made the
Heavyweight.
big bucks like in you know what I mean, Ali and George Foreman. If we talking about money, they really like put boxing on a new pedestal when they made that money in Zaire.
Right.
Nobody made that kind of money.
No, and also too, let's not forget about the late Don King.
You know what I'm saying? Don King, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, well, I think Don King's still kicking. He's still kicking. I don't think he going. I don't think he going.
That's
He's
how good
still
I
kicking.
said Don King. Don King was part of that too. So this is what I'm saying that people, y'all gotta know your history. Y'all gotta, you gotta know whether because I'm not saying it wasn't no great. I'm not gonna say that it wasn't no great champion was in the lower weight cut because you got Roberto Duran back that he was fighting, he had featherweight.
Yeah,
But it wasn't
Roberto. Yeah,
yeah, but
yeah,
it
that's a
wasn't
fact.
no money at the time. The money
Yeah,
was
yeah,
at
yeah.
the
They wasn't
heavyweight.
making money. Yeah, it wasn't making money until I think Ali and George cracked the barrier
They,
when
the
they.
low weight class was not hardly making no money. The money was a heavyweight. That's why you got most some of them was you got like the late great George Foster. He every time why you think he always trying to fight heavyweights when he was a
Oh, you talk about Bob Foster. Yep, yep, yep.
Foster. Why do you think? Because that's where the money was at. He could never beat him, but that's where the money's at. Because as he was a great light heavyweight champion, it wasn't really no money. So that's why some of them.
You know he beat Ali in the amateurs, right?
Yeah, he did. He did. But Muhammad Ali make him pay for it in them. It's okay. But that's what I'm saying. Most of them light heavyweights at the time they had to come up to fight the heavyweights because that's where the money was at. So that's what I'm saying. Oh, let me read this. Cat PY2, he said I had a Marine buddy who is first cousin to George Foreman. There you go. There's always history over here, though. We drop history. Always history over here. Y'all be sleeping. Look at that. That's that Cat PY. That's my day one right there. He said, I had a Marine buddy. Oh, he's deceased. Who is first cousins of George Foreman.
Give me a sec, underrated. I'm gonna come right
Okay,
back in.
no problem. Yeah, so they like that. There's always some over here. That's how I'm telling people, man. Like, yo, like I say, brother Cat, hit the like button, yo, hit the like button. Say so. Yeah, but I want him to finish. We need to finish George Foreman. Then I'm going to follow that up. What he talking about? But this is it goes to show that you never know. I say you never know. But see, some of the people, I ain't mean to get up the subject. I just want to throw this out. They just want to be famous. They want to look at that. Look at that Cat PY to drop a gem. Oh, he's lying. How you lying about that? Oh, he just making it, or he ain't making it up. Where you send me a message at, D-Love, to my email? Where, D-Love? Yeah, so got you. I hear you, D. I hear you, Cat. I hear you, Cat. Waiting for the acts come back so we can keep this conversation going. So yeah. But like Cat put in, I had pictures of us in the military, we were tight as hell. Y'all hear that? Yeah. That's what's up. But people in this space, y'all missing a whole lot over here, boy. Y'all missing a whole lot. Missing a whole lot. But get back on George Foreman. On his second time go around, he made it count. So that's what's up. But
Yeah, I'm back. My bad.
don't worry about
Yeah. Yeah, man. But yeah, like I said, man, like I gotta put respect on them dudes' names, man. They was coming up with monsters, man. Them dudes was coming up with some real hungry up and coming dudes, man.
it. Yeah,
A
and at
lot of
that time,
respect,
not
a
respect.
lot
Go
of
ahead.
respect, a lot of respect and credit to those brothers putting it all on the line like that. Especially in the era where there was no drug testing, and we got to
No,
think about stuff like that. Like,
right, right. And at those times, even the heavyweight division, the only way you're gonna get some money, you become champion.
yeah, and you know what I mean. It was only what, two belts at that time, so that was something that we was talking about, like early on my channel. Like we was
Yeah.
talking about. They was like one of the questions that was posed was, do you think that the belt should get devalued? And I was like, no, I hope they don't get devalued. Because if you're looking at it from a fighter standpoint, if you was a fighter right now and you was in my bracket, you wouldn't want the belts to get devalued now, would you? Why would you want to get rid of four belts? And that's less likely that you'll become a champion. Let's just say me and you both in the same division and we're not ranked yet. That's giving us less of a chance to grab one of the belts if it's only one belt. People that's fans talk like that. People that fight ain't going to talk like that. So you got to be able to empathize with another person and be able to look at it from their lens as an adult. That's what my mom always told me. So that's what I'm trying to have y'all do. It sound cool. Oh yeah, nah, it shouldn't be that many belts and that many champions. But if you was a fighter, you wouldn't be talking like that.
And go more
You
your
know what I'm
point.
saying? Because it's
Right.
hard. That belt could change people. Some people is in them streets struggling right now, not knowing how to pay bills and stuff.
Mm, yeah. And back then, if you miss your time, right, that could be another 4, 5, 6 years even to get back the title, to fight for the
Yeah,
title.
like I give you an example, like of recent memory. Like the dude that replaced Shakur Stevenson's opponent, he's able to pay his house off now. He didn't know how he was gonna pay his house off. British kid named Josh Padley. He's an electrician. He didn't know how he was gonna finish paying his house off. He ended up being that replacement opponent. He paid his house off. He said he could quit his job and become a full-time boxer. You know what I'm saying? So no, we don't want to get rid of those four belts because we got to think about the
Oh,
people that's in impoverished areas right now. And then we can even bring it to Tank Davis. Tank Davis was in a situation like somebody I know personally. Like they about to get evicted and stuff like that. He had that fight for his first title, the IBF title against Jose Pedraza. And look where he's at now. So nah, man, we don't want to get rid of the belts. That's
no.
why I gotta give the old school dudes credit. Only two belts back in the day, and if you really made it to the top, that meant something, man. Man, much respect and credit to those brothers for real.
And they got to stay up top. Because
It,
if you lose that title, that means I'm talking about back in the days, you gotta start over again.
yeah. I mean, some people, yeah, because you wasn't just gonna go back and get that title shot.
No.
You wasn't gonna just be able to get right back in there. You had to work your way back. It wasn't like nowadays where if you lose a fight, all of a sudden you could be ranked and fight like for a title. I want to know what type of management they got. I want to know what type of management they got, man. For real.
Yeah, I'm saying like people say that, yo, that these belts do away with the belts. No, don't do away with the belt. I'm saying that fix the sanctions, make sure
Yeah. That's what I said on my show.
fix
Fix
the
the
sanctions.
people that's running the sanctioning body.
Fix them. You know, fix
You know
that.
what I mean? Because my brothers, what they were saying and where they disagree with me, they saying, yeah, the dudes that's a little bit younger than you and the dudes your age don't even care about the belts. I'm like, what you mean they don't care about? You know what I mean? Yeah, because they missing weight and stuff like that, and this is that and the third. Yeah, but look, you should never miss weight. It is deemed unprofessional. This is a I don't know if you know the young fighter named Carmel Mobley. He looked like Tank. Everybody calls him Little Tank.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's real popular. You should look him up if you haven't watched him fight. He's under Mayweather. He could fight his ass off. He missed weight because of the blood work and stuff like that. He came in over. So my brothers hold his feet to the fire just because of that. But outside of that, he's a knockout artist. He everything one of y'all like my uncle likes watching. My uncle is like your age. He loved watching him. He's like, yeah, I like this dude. I think he's gonna be better than Tank. This is that and the third, and he's active. You know what I'm saying? So you know how it is. You know, some people they don't forget. I
Yeah.
feel like I feel like personally, if it ain't for a title, then I mean,
Mm-hmm.
young.
Yeah, you gotta run that back because you was breaking up. Cat PY2, check your email.
Nah, I was saying, he's still young. He's like, you can hear me now.
Yeah.
I say, yeah, he's still young. So he's still got a lot to learn about the sport and the business.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Just like Ali did,
yeah.
just like George Foreman had to.
But get back to George Foreman. Yeah, because I was waiting for you to get back to George Foreman, then I was say something. Oh, you finished?
No. I'm finished. Go ahead. Say what you saying.
No, what I was saying, go more on your point. And they was doing the time like when he was talking Jimmy Ellis, they funded with his money, and so he was practically broke. And also at the time, he bought the community center, and then he all that had to go bankrupt. And so a few years later after that, he had to fight again to build up his wealth. But along the way, that's when the George Foreman grill and other stuff start happening. And so that's when he started having money. And that's when like when he won a title in '94, he was already straight already because the George Foreman grill was doing well. So that's why one of the reasons that and also get back to his skill and everything. I think he was more polished to the second time go around than the first time go around. Because
I
now, because
I agree.
he's knocking people out left hand, left hook, body, and everything. I said, dang. What you say about that? And welcome, brother Cat.
Salute to you, brothers in the chat room. Yeah,
Uh,
I won't try to take
Salute.
long, man. Uh, I'm on George Foreman,
Uh-huh.
uh, and my buddy. They're just centered because my buddy, he's the shortest guy in our infantry. Carrying all this heavy weight, doing everything, man. And he has that tenacity and that drive, man. Just like George Foreman. He went back to boxing like it was in his 40s and knocking people out. My buddy, man, he had passed away from cancer like 3 years ago, and I still stay in contact with his mom. Um, but this guy here, man, and he was a drummer. Even though he was sick, he'd still go to church and play drums for the church and everything. He took up what was that shit called? I'm gonna try not to cuss. He took up that martial arts and stuff. And he's a great guy, just like George Foreman is. He's great. So hell, today I just went in there and purchased me like a George Foreman grill just a few minutes ago. So, one time it was like way back in the 90s when we first got out the military, and I went down to the third ward where George was raised around, and a big ass body Benz pulled up, and everybody started running towards it. So I just stayed on the porch, talking, with the grandma. And then my buddy come back and said, man, come come say hey to George. I said, man, I ain't know this. Hey, dog, I know what's going on. He said, but George just coming by to drop off some money to his grandma, the one that raised him. Or an aunt, I think was her aunt. And so, yeah, man, I mean, I really miss that dude, man. That was my top-notch brother, man. I ain't gonna lie. And hope I'm not missing anything, but I don't want to make it too long. But man, they're great people, man. All of them, they're great individuals. Yeah. I was a pallbearer at his funeral, and another brother who served with us, he came down, and he's a pallbearer as well. But man, that shit, man, like I can't believe he's gone. But shit happens, things happens, and I think that's all I gotta say, brother.
Okay.
So I'm go and drop back down.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for information. Brother Act, you ready to say something? Go ahead. Go ahead, Brother Act.
Nah. I wasn't saying that. I was letting the bro cook. Uh,
Well, I'm going to say this. I want to ask you a question. I feel George Foreman got better when he fought again. What you think about that?
um, I would say so. I would say yeah. I would say he got better. Uh, I think he definitely. I liked that version better.
Yeah.
I definitely would say I like that version of him better, like charisma wise, and from a psychological aspect and from a boxing aspect. I think everything. That's why I feel like he was able to capture that title and become the oldest heavyweight. What I mean, at 45 years old.
Yeah.
I feel like, the mentality changed. He wasn't that pent up aggression type of dude. He was more laid back. He was funny. He was charismatic. I loved the fact that he was commentating and still fighting at the same time.
Yeah. A lot too. I remember I watched people. I watched when he fought Jerry Cooney. And when he fought Jerry Cooney, everybody thought like, yeah, yo, he missed with the right. Yo, he won. That was deception move. That was deception punch. Miss with the right, come with the uppercut. Boom! Knock him down first time. Then go to show you the mentality of the wit of George Foreman. He knew that Cooney did not block his face. His guard was open. He just take a step or two, walk, hit him with the uppercut. He was already out anyway. But he came with the right over right and everything. But stuff like that. Yeah. So
I think, like I said, one of my favorite fights of all time he was involved in. My favorite fight of all time was um Rumble in the Jungle. I wasn't alive, but it was just the whole build up and the whole,
yeah.
you know what I mean, the whole way that they counted they counted Ali out. You know what I'm saying? And it was such like George Foreman being younger and I mean being the prolific puncher that he was. And then you get Muhammad Ali, who's like a talker. He's the older guy. He's not the same since after the draft. I just thought that it was a recipe for something great to happen. And then,
Yeah.
like I said, them not fighting in America, that's another highlight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That they
Hey, what? So what?
go to a fight on the come up when he fought Ron Lyles. That fight right there, bro, that had to be one of the best fights ever. Like him and Ron Lyles going at it, two power punches, knocking each
Oh
other
yeah.
down.
Oh,
They,
you talking
they
about that was a 77, right?
yeah, it might have been said. I don't remember the year. I'm not gonna lie, I just remember the fight. That fight was a really good fight. Um, again, you know, this is just a dude that he actually could say like I had one of the greatest fights. You know what I mean of my time. He could say that.
Yeah.
A
And
lot of people can't say
Ronnie
that.
Lyles, right? Ronnie Lyles was no pushover either now.
He sure wasn't.
He was hard to hit. He was hard. I think the difference of Ernie Shavers and Ronnie Lyles, they both can hit hard, but I think Ronnie Lyles. I can't say because both of them swing wild and stuff. I can't never say. But I think the thing with George Foreman when he knocked out Ronnie Lyles, he had more structure of his skill than Ronnie Lyles. Because he set his punches up more better than Ronnie Lyles, and that's how he knocked out Ronnie Lyles.
You
Ronnie
know,
Lyles,
Ronnie Lyles, he also he was a dude that he was boxing in jail. That's when they allowed boxing in jail, and
Yeah.
Not only just that, I think that they should bring that back. But anyway, um, he, he died, right? And the doctor brought him back to life. So he has an interesting story too. He got a
On his
very,
eye?
yes, the doctor
Okay.
saved his life.
Hmm.
It was a doctor that saved his life, and he knew he was there for a reason, man. And he said even though when he fought Ali, he hated him at the time. He says, he said, now that I look back, you heard me, or did I cut out?
No, no, you're cut out. Yes.
Yeah, I said, even though at that time he um he didn't like Ali. So hold on, pardon me, driving by this music.
No, nobody right. After that, man. I don't know.
All right, yeah, my bad. I was driving by freaking one of these food trucks. They was loud as hell. But yeah, man. Um, Ron Lyle said that he respected Ali because that was the most money he made, and it helped him out a lot. That's what I was saying.
Hmm. See? See, that's what I'm saying. That, like, back then in the 70s, they are fighters. They probably didn't like each other, but deep inside, they want to make sure the other fighter, you know, put money in their pocket so they can better their life. Just like you look at Larry Holmes. And I still say he's still underrated. Got one of the most powerful jab ever. Yeah, some people say that he actually hurt people with a jab. I seen one time he keep on jabbing this guy, and he jabbed this guy, he knocked him down. The guy was like shaking his head like, wow, yeah. So back then it was all about fundamentals too. No? So again, welcome to my channel, Underrated Darkness. Your truth, the number one grinder, one of the best kept secrets on social media, the best of the business. This the box icon and entrepreneur brother George Foreman had passed away. And we were brother act Capri Y2. He passed on some information that is very important. He checked out. He said to God that he was in service with the Marines. Deceased now was first cousin of the late great George Foreman.
Sir, sir.
Yeah,
So yeah, man. But yeah, man. Like, again, salute to George. He had a good life. And like I said, not even on just keeping on the boxing side, very smart businessman as well.
yes,
You know what I mean? With that whole Foreman grill thing, that thing took off. You know what I mean? And I never forget when he retired, and he said that he was going to retire, and he talked about how he had a new business venture that he was working on, and
mm-hmm.
the Foreman grill. It was great, man. Like he made more money off of that than in his boxing career. He made
Yeah,
a lot of big money, so that says a lot.
yeah,
So, so peace be upon Big George, man. George
yeah,
Foreman, man.
yeah. So And so I'm gonna say this. And so in his second career, George went on, won the title against Michael Moore 2000. I mean, not two. I mean, 1994, and you know, George split the guard. You know, and Michael Moore said when he hit him the first time, he don't even remember. Mhm. So, and all he just needed to do just box him, he could have won. You said you beat him up when I stand in front of him. But he said, if I stand in front of him, and then he felt George power, that was it. Became the oldest heavyweight champ. You know? And this is the same Michael Moore had beat Evander Holyfield and of his prime. People don't like talk Michael Moore, but Michael Moore beat some people, beat some fighters
Yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's a fact.
He did beat some fighters, but he beat, and like I said, let me repeat this again. He beat Evander Holyfield in his prime. It's not just Big Daddy. Michael Moore did too. So, you know, but like I said, man, uh, if there's anything else you want to add on, bro?
Uh, nah, man. I think I pretty much said what I had to say about George, man. Much love and respect to George.
Okay. So make your last remarks and stay right there and make my last remarks. We're gonna close this out together as a family. Because I already said enough.
Yeah. Um. Salute and like I said, peace be upon Big George. He won't be forgotten. Definitely a legend in the sport. And great boxing conversation. Even though I was just on talking boxing. You know what I
Uh,
mean? So definitely, what I mean, when I get a chance, if I got free time, I'll jump back on and come back over here, man. You know you my guy, and salute to
yes.
everybody that jumped on that was in the chat, man. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, and also stay right there. Um, it's sad, but we have to celebrate the late great George Foreman. And like brother Axe said, he had two lives. Here, this man that was the after lost to Jimmy Ellis, he was depressed for a long time. Along the way, Muhammad, the late great Muhammad, helped him through depression. No money, no nothing. He had to fight again and gain gain prominence again. And along the way, his business venture jumped off, and he never looked back and became an excellent boxing commentator. I still say he very underrated. And it's a sad day. It really is. But at least we did something right. Me and brother Act, and a few others, we did something right. He was a minister too, so he put God first. You know? Sometimes, uh, men like this, we wish he could have lived longer. we greedy. We wanted him to live longer. Sometimes it doesn't happen like that. Sometimes God had a higher purpose, like he had a plan. So sometimes, I mean, it sucks, but it happens. I'm just happy personally. I got to know.
George Foreman when I was very young and even right now. You know, being 59, you know, I know George Foreman like 57 years. So, and I'm glad I watched that fight with my father when he won the Olympic gold. Like I said, I don't remember that, but my father told me that I watched it. I was two. No. And along the way, yeah, you're right, brother Joker. A lot of them had to leave unexpected. So we mourn of a great man, Hall of Famer, heavyweight, two-time heavyweight champion, entrepreneur. There's always gonna be one George Foreman. Only one. You better remember that. Only one George Foreman. Also a family man. We're gonna do before we close this out, we're gonna give you 10 dings. Ding, 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 ding. Rest in peace. On behalf of my channel, Unrated Darkness, yours truly, the #1 grinder, one of the best kept secrets on social media. And brother Ack, I'm gonna see you my number through your email, so watch out for that.
I bet.
See you around, George Foreman. See you around. Hey, hey, Capri, how you doing? How you doing, Capri? Thanks for coming. Hello back. Peace to you and your family. This is the last of the day. Thanks for coming through. Please come back, Capri. We want to see you more often. You know, the late great George Foreman gone. He gone. You know. Rest in peace. Peace to everybody, your family. Great afternoon to everybody. Anytime, anytime. Thank you. Because you could have been anywhere else, but you show up here, but agree to close it out. But thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Cat PY2, to share that. A lot of history happened right here today. A lot of history. No, a lot of history. A lot of history. Again, on behalf of my channel, Underrated Darkness, yours truly, the #1 grinder, one of the best kept secrets on social media, the best of the business. Okay, that's great. That's all right. But after your vacation, you keep on stopping by too. But that's all right. Great. Because we want you to be part of these conversations too. We want you to be part of the conversations too. I'll tell the truth. I might be on tomorrow morning, Capri. So watch out for that. I might be back on tomorrow morning. So watch out for that. You know, enjoy your vacation. Deserve it. No? All right. But until next time, be blessed, be blessed, be blessed. Great afternoon, great evening. Until next time, this one is Ghost. Be good to each other. Let's stand for the truth. Stand for the truth. All right. This one is Ghost. Thank y'all.